Hello and welcome to IRL F1 here for round 5 in Austria, the Red Bull Ring. Of course today 13 drivers, fairly full. Obviously a few drivers not able to make it, so at a track here which has such great overtaking opportunities and promotes really side by side moments as well, especially through these two left-handers. If you can get side by side going through the right-hander of turn 4 on the exit, you can certainly bring it all the way through the middle sector. So do have some people getting ready for laps at the moment. Of course Lewis Curtis is looking to be the first one out on track, unless actually I think maybe Jared Fosbury's before him. I will just have a look. Yeah, he is before him, so it's going to be Jared Fosbury who's going to be setting lap first. He's going to be opening up the DRS. Of course, the hairpin, one of two really good overtaking opportunities. Of course, this one kind of promotes you to stick side by side at the exit as well, so really the hairpin, the best to just get the move over and done with, as of course he's going to be going through the two left-handers now. A little bit wide though as he finishes up sector 2. Of course he's going to be purple as he finishes up here, gets up on the curb. You got to make sure not to invalidate there. And now the final two corners, of course, and right after this I'll just get the tweet out. So Jared Fosbury, of course, finishing up now up on the curb for the final time. He's going to open up the DRS and of course set a 5.4. That is on the mediums though. I know Lewis Curtis also on the mediums, but I would be expecting him to go faster than that though, as Lewis Curtis, no, he's going to be just setting a banker lap, if you will. I think I saw someone else finishing up there, maybe they invalidated as well. Was that Axie in the Red Bull? No, it wasn't, but he is on a lap though. So I'll just look at getting the tweet out now, just quickly. And that should be it, there we go. And there's Axie as well, of course, around the Red Bull Ring, Red Bull's home track as well in Austria, putting his car into provisional pole position. Of course, he's only one of 3 drivers to set a time right now, so you'd probably be expecting someone else to be able to beat that lap, especially as it's a 4.2. Really, they should be in the 3s. I mean, Matthew Older certainly is going to be in the 3s anyway, as Lewis Curtis is looking to do another lap on the mediums. He's going to be crossing the line, second place, 4.3, very, very strong lap from Lewis there, as Centauri's not too far through the lap. Cameron Young is going to be finishing up in a few moments. Matthew Older there in the 3s, 3.9 for him, and of course on the mediums as well. What else would you expect from Matthew Older? Opening up DRS for Cameron Young now. He's going to be looking to get up there, 4th place, 4.3 for him. Only hundredths of a second separating himself, Lewis Curtis and Ollie Flavel, for really what it would be kind of a fight for 3rd place right now between the 3 of them. Very fine margins between them. Of course, a few more people setting laps here. Lickle puts his McLaren into P6. Pretty much everyone on the mediums actually has gone on the softs, hasn't been able to put on provisional pole or keep it on provisional pole on the softs, so certainly you can see that his lap could have been better. Really, I'd be expecting pole to be a low 3, probably like 3.3 or something like that from Matthew, probably. It's good to see there Chaos getting in his car, or Dylan Day I should say, getting into his car, as we do have Fergus Wilson looking to set a lap, as of course he's going to be opening up the DRS and he's going to be going through the kink of turn 2. The hairpin is turn 3, which really I wouldn't really recognize as a corner myself, but he's going to be going through. Interestingly, purple in sector 1. Of course Matthew Alders set at 3.9. Lewis Curtis is set at 3.7 on the medium, so really these medium runners pumping in the lap times, as of course Fergus Wilson will be looking to get up there as well, as he's going to be finishing up sector 2. He's got a little bit of traffic in the Ferrari just ahead of him. He's going to get out of the way though, and it's going to allow him to continue on, but that's going to be an invalidation for the Red Bull driver, and he's going to be going back to the pit lane, as you can see there. He's going to have to go out again later on. Dylan Day now is going through turn 4. And of course the little flat right of turn 5. And then turn 6 and 7, the two left-handers of the track. And he's going to invalidate as well. So a few invalidations we're seeing here. Sondre Sorog is out on track, and if his quality can go anything like last week, I'm sure he'll be happy with it, as of course he did qualify himself P3. Had an incident though with Nino Armanello, who is not here today unfortunately. But yeah, Sondre Sorog, I would be hoping for the Norwegian to do well as well. Of course he is known for being a bottle, but he has his moments, and last week was certainly one of those moments, putting it in P3. And I hope he can repeat it, as he's going to be finishing up his outlap in a few moments at least. As he's just finishing up their Sector 2, and he's going to be preparing to start, as of course he invalidates his outlap, but that won't matter, as of course it won't invalidate his main lap. That's the main thing, as he's going to be going through the penultimate final. That may have invalidated his final lap though, as he opens up DRS. We'll see. As he crosses over, he hasn't, so he's going to be able to continue on. We'll go on board us and up on the curb, of course, for turn 1. You want to hop over the curb of turn 1, and he's going to go a little bit too wide, and he's going to invalidate his lap, unfortunately. So that's not going to be any lap time set on this occasion for Sondre. Dylan Day is looking to lap. He invalidated his first lap, but he's going to be going again, and he's going to put it in P3 at 3.931, in actually an identical lap time to Matthew Alder as well, which of course Matthew's setting it first, so he's the one who gets priority in second place. I'm not sure if the game actually prioritizes or not, but what happened there was correct anyway. And it seems like Axie's invalidated as well, as he's been trying to do a lap. Or trying to set a second lap of the session. Invalidation for Lico. Looks like Lordy's on a lap though. He's gone too wide and he's going to invalidate as well. Santeri Martikainen is going to be looking for a lap, as of course he's going to be going through turn 4, and then the flat turn 5, and then the two left-handers of turn 6 and turn 7. You really want to get the turn in right here, as up on the curb, and he shucks the car in, does it quite well, uses the curb on the exit of course as well, and then using this exit curb as well. And he's apparently purple in sector 2. Of course we'll see how this develops, as he's going to be going through the final two corners, the final two right-handers of the track. Very easy to invalidate going through that little section, but he keeps it within the white lines, and he's going to go 5th to 4.3. For the Ferrari driver, there's a few people on outlaps. Is Sondre going again? No, he's going to be on his in-lap now. Fergus Wilson on an invalid lap. Lewis Millam is looking for a lap at the moment, as of course he hasn't set one yet. The Red Bull there gets out of the way. And again showing purple sectors, but I'm not sure how correct it is. Of course Lewis Millam, I would say, would be more of the higher pace drivers, one of the quicker drivers I should say. And of course on the softs, I wouldn't put it past him to have set a purple at least there, as of course he's going to open up DRS. He hasn't set a time yet. He's going to set a time of 4.0 and put it himself in 4th place. So unfortunately for the AlphaTauri driver, he's not going to be able to put on a provisional pole at the moment. Very strong lap times though from Lewis and from Matthew Walder. And is Lewis going to be out in the softs now? He's going to be out in the softs, as he's invalidated his flying lap though. I don't think Lewis would be going again, would he? No, he's not. But he is getting out of the way for a Red Bull. That would be Fergus Wilson. And Fergus Wilson is going to be on a time. And, well, he's... Oh, okay. Quite the spin from Fergus Wilson. As, of course, he was going through... what was turn 8, I think? I didn't actually quite catch it. I looked away for a second and then I saw him spinning, but I assume he got up on the turn 8 curb and spun there. Which would have kind of been the exit curb for turn 7. I'm not really sure. Maybe he could have spun on the curb, but it is a little bit raised for turn 7 as well. Regardless, he's not going to be able to set a time at this point in the session. There's Jared Fosbury. Oh, okay. Looked like Jared Fosbury is going in. Seems like Jared is not going to be going in and is actually going to be going on a time. On the softs, of course, 5 minutes left, and he's going to go way too wide, and he's not actually going to get an invalidation for it, so he can consider himself a bit lucky there, as he's going to be able to open up the DRS and continue on his lap. He's about half a tenth up on his previous best as he exits the hairpin of turn 3 and approaches turn 4, of course. Turn 4 quite crucial. You want to get up on the curb for the entry, as he does. A little bit late though, and he locks up the rears a little bit as well. Or, well, I mean, looked more like the fronts. And then, of course, turn 6 and turn 7, the two left-handers. We want to make sure you don't want to go too wide there, and he has actually done just that. And he's invalidated his time on the softs. He's not going to be able to be improving. He should have enough time to get back into the pits, as he is going to go back into the pits and try one more time right at the end of the session. Someone else who's on a lap, it seems, is Matthew Alder. It's just a case of if he's on the softs or not. He is on the softs. So Matthew Alder looking to get provisional pole position. Of course, he currently doesn't have it. Lewis Curtis has beat him by about 2/10, almost exactly 2/10 actually, between the two. But he is going to be purple in Sector 2, and with Matthew Alder, there's not a real doubt that you would put on that. As of course, through turns 9 and 10, the penultimate and final corners, he's going to take it well. He's going to stay within the white lines, and this is going to be a provisional pole position as he puts in a 3.3. I said a provisional pole would be about a 3.3 or maybe a 3.2 even, and Matthew Alder has proved that pretty much exactly right, as he's on a 3.3 flat almost. Dylan Day also looking to improve his time. Not too many people out on track right now, but of course that will all change, as of course we're getting closer and closer to the end of qualifying, so give it another minute and we'll probably see the track completely full. Apparently a purple Sector 2 for Dylan Day, of course currently on a 3.9, so he'll be looking for at least a little bit of an improvement to put himself second. Don't think he's going to be beating Matthew Alder's time, as of course opening up the DRS now, and he's going to be crossing the line. And oh wait, he has, yeah, I think he improved by about a 10th, but it wasn't enough to get second place off Lewis Curtis, and Lewis is going to be able to retain that second place, also starting on the mediums still. But I get the feeling he's going to be going on one final lap on the softs, Lewis Curtis, as Santeri Martikainen, and I think that would be Sondre Sorog. Getting a little close there on track, but don't think there was anything off about it. Sondre just goes through. They're both weaving, so it just looked a bit like something else, but normal. As okay, I don't know why I got a shot of that, but Jared Fosbury is going to be starting a lap. I think Santeri's ahead of him though. No, that's an invalid lap until Dylan Day. So it is going to be Jared Fosbury to be on the lap, of course, as he exits turn 1, opens up the DRS as well. Best overtaking opportunity on the track, of course, and he's going to be going up in the curb, or you'd expect him to go up in the curb. He touches the curb a little bit. Probably should have taken it a little bit more. I'm fairly sure he should take a little bit more, as of course now he opens up the DRS for the second time. And he's going to be going through turn 4. A little bit tricky because of the angle, and also that it's downhill braking as well. And then he goes up the hill and then round turn 6 and turn 7, the two left-handers. this time he doesn't go too wide to invalidate his lap, but he is going to go too wide there. I could already see it, and he's not going to be improving. He's going to be staying outside of the top 10 unless he goes for a consecutive lap time. Actually, there's quite a few people invalidating their times. Santeri is looking at another lap as he's going to be finishing up in a few moments. He gets right up on the curb, has to correct his car a little bit, try and get back off the curb. As now, of course, through turns 9 and turns 10, the two right-handers to finish off. Penultimate and final corner, of course, and opening up the DRS now. And he's going to be crossing the line, surely an improvement, and it is an improvement. 4.1, getting ahead of Lewis Marshall for 6th place. But of course, Lewis Marshall still has one more lap time at least to set. Lordy's also looking for an improvement. He's on the soft tyres, quite a few yellow flags everywhere, but he's going to be setting an apparent purple sector 2, but again, not really sure how true it is, as of course Matthew Waller on a 3.3. It's a very, very strong lap time from Matthew. Lordy's going to be going across the line in a few moments. Axie, by the way, has put himself in P2. He's improved to a 3.7. Lordy's going to put himself at a 4.0 and just get ahead of Lewis Millam to put himself inside of the top 5. Matthew Walder now will go on board with, of course, you can see that that's how much curb really you need to be taking if you want to be quick. And of course, Matthew Walder showing how well he can do it. That's, of course, opening up DRS at the exit of the hairpin. And then going through turn 4 again, right up on the curb to set you up nicely for the exit, which will bring you through turn 5, of course a flat turn 5, and then you got to again get up on the curb to set yourself up for turn 6 and turn 7, making sure you don't go too wide on the exit, of course. And once again here, you want to make sure you keep within the white lines. This is of course very easy invalidations to be had there, but it seems that he is going quicker as he's going to be going through the final few corners. Cameron Young has finished up. He's put himself into P2 now as a 3.6. Matthew Walder is going to be improving. He's going to put himself on provisional pole with a 3.1 this time, as of course very, very strong. Even went past what I said as 3.1, not even a 3.2. As it looks like Axie is finished up. I think he is finished up. He's not going to be able to improve. Dylan Day is on an invalidated lap, so that's the end of his qualifying. Jared Fosbury's going slowly. Ollie Flavel's letting people through, and Sondre also is going slow. He's invalidated, and he's actually going to spin around right at the end of the session as he goes across the gravel. So just waiting for Lordy and Sondre then. And now just Sondre. Oh well, there's also Ollie. At this point you could just retire anyway, because everyone's finished, but sure. Yeah, there we go. And there we have it then. Of course, Matthew Walder taking pole position, almost 5/10 clear of Cameron Young, and then Axie as well in third. Very close between Cameron Young and Axie, though. Could be seeing a fight between them two. Lewis Curtis putting his car into fourth, but he is on the mediums though, so watch out for Lewis Curtis. Dylan Day puts his car into fifth, Lordy in sixth, Lewis Millam in seventh. Santeri Martikainen is going to go 8th, Lewis Marshall 9th, Jared Fosbury is going to round out the top 10, and then Ollie Flavel in 11th, Edward Hart in 12th, and then Sondre and Fergus Wilson not being able to set a time. Waiting for people to get their strategies in. Should be a fairly easy soft medium today. Or medium soft if you're Lewis Curtis or someone who's starting outside of the top 10. So we'll just get all the information on the screen. We'll see who's on what tour, and yeah, everyone outside of the top 10 going for the mediums, everyone inside the top 10 on softs, apart from Lewis Curtis, who kept his lap on the medium. So really, Lewis Curtis could put himself very much in contention for the podium, especially when the top 3 pit. If Cameron and Axie could keep close to Matthew, maybe put him under a little bit of pressure, kind of get a bit of a train going between the 3 of them. Once Lewis Curtis then pits, he could end up catching by the end, or Matthew, although more likely, just pull away and then he'll be fighting for second, but never know. Is everyone just warming up their tires as they get ready, and Matthew Alder's going to slow it right down. As you can see, everyone very, very close to each other. And Fergus Wilson, the last person to line up on the grid. And we have 3, 4, 5 red lights for the Austrian Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go. Looks pretty equal to me at the start between the top 2. Of course, Cameron Young looking to the inside. Matthew Alder doesn't cover it off, but he's going to retain his lead going into turn 1. Cameron Young, of course, has to settle for P2. The Red Bull there is maybe looking at a move as Matthew Alder weaving him out at the front there. It seems like he's trying to break the toe, but Cameron Young continues to be second. The Red Bull couldn't get close enough. Dylan Day's made up a place up into 4th, and someone's gone round. That's a Williams, and it's Lewis Marshall who's been going round. He's down to last place now. So seems like an incident between someone. There is a few cars going kind of everywhere. There is a Ferrari getting out of the way. Maybe he has damage. I'm not sure. That's Santeri going slowly there as they funnel their way through the top 3 remaining as is. Dylan Day, of course, was one person who made up a place. Sondre Sorog then goes through Lewis Curtis. Has Lewis Curtis lagged out? It seems like he has. Unfortunate for him because he did start in quite a good position, of course, on the mediums as well. Edward Hart making up quite a few places, as of course he's already up into 7, starting outside of the top 10 on the mediums, so we'll look out for him later on in the race, of course. As you can see now, Dylan Day right at the back of Axie, as he's actually almost lost it at the exit of turn 1, so he's not going to be able to make a move on the Red Bull on this occasion, but you could see he was right up the gearbox under braking in turn 1, but just couldn't get close enough, as Matthew Alder 7/10ths ahead of Cameron Young hasn't been able to gap him, as of course the predicted pit stop would say it's a soft medium, but I don't think it is. Should really be a soft medium, fairly simply. As Matthew Alder just chipping away at the gap, getting ever closer to breaking the DRS. Of course, now he's broken the DRS, and it's really not at a time that Cameron Young would have wanted it to happen, because of course he could get DRS as they go down the start-finish straight, as he's just going in and out, but I think he just hasn't got it, as we'll see if he opens up DRS. Of course, Axie will get DRS as they exit turn 1, of course. No DRS down the start-finish straight because it starts before the start-finish line. But you can see there Cameron Young no DRS, and Axie is going to get DRS in the background. So Cameron Young now I think is going to start losing touch a little bit with Matthew Walder, unless he can really pick up the pace now in the Aston Martin. Of course, Dylan Day also seems like he's gone very deep actually in the hairpin. Maybe he was looking at a move with the Red Bull, I'm not sure. Or maybe he was just taking some avoiding action that he broke too late. As we do have a fight between Sondre Sorg. Sondre on the inside getting past Ollie Flavel. Of course, both of them on the mediums as they go through turn 4. Oh no, Sondre Sorg's crashed at the exit. I think it was just on his own from what I can tell there. And it's a virtual safety car as well. Really not what Sondre would have needed at all. At the exit of turn 4, just breaking off his wing. I think it's actually entirely broken off. As it is, yeah, he's lost his entire wing and he's certainly going to have to pit at the end of this lap. He has a virtual safety car to help him out a little bit, but that's unfortunate. Wait, no. Oh, okay, it's actually been upgraded to a full safety car. And why didn't I... Okay, I didn't actually notice. Santeri and Lewis Marshall both out of the race already. I didn't notice a crash. I thought it was just for Sondre losing his wing. Maybe that it got a VSC, but it's a full safety car now. And we're down to 12 drivers, of course. Sondre's going to be able to catch up to the grid, so for him it's not as bad as it could have been, as he's going to put on the soft tires. So yeah, I don't really know what happened between Santeri and Lewis, but the fact of the matter is that both of them are out of the race now. And I don't think any of the front runners will be very interested in pitting now, because of course it's only lap 4. Mediums can't really go to the end, and hards are going to be horrible, especially with losing the track position unnecessarily. Seems like Jared Fosbury's gone in, but he was a little bit further behind, so it won't affect him as much as track position. Probably going to go with the mediums, I would think. Lordy's put on the hards. Okay, I just went back in the stream then, safety car in this lap, so it's pretty good timing. It seems that Santeri's car crashed, which caused a virtual safety car which got upgraded to a full safety car, and Sondre's wing breaking off actually had nothing to do with it. So, yeah, that's that. So Sondre really just getting quite lucky that an incident happened right at the same time as his. So he's going to be able to catch up to the grid, of course. He's currently in 11th on the soft, so he'll be looking at making a few moves. As of course Matthew Walder leading the way once again, and he's decided to go at the penultimate corner, and through the final corner now it's going to be slipstream. No DRS, of course, in activation until what's going to be about lap 7 or 8, I think. As of course Matthew Walder moves over to the right hand side to try and break the toe. Everyone follows him in the slipstream. And quite a good restart for Matthew Walder as well, of course, already breaking the toe pretty much, 7/10 between himself and Cameron Young, as Axie is under pressure once again from Dylan Day, who did have that little bit of a mistake earlier on, but of course the safety car bunched everything back up, as not going to be close enough on this occasion. Cameron Young neither to the car in front of Matthew Older. Of course, Matthew Older probably going to continue to lead this race, as now Edward Hart goes a little bit deep. Doesn't look like it's going to put him at any risk of losing position to Ollie Flavel, who continues to follow behind. So really going to have to wait till, yeah, what would be lap 8. Of course, when they go on to lap 8, that's when it would start. And luckily Lewis Curtis has got back in, so he did actually lag out earlier on in the race. And he's lost out a little bit of time as well. Of course, the AI not very quick, but he's still closer to the grid than he would have been. As of course through the hairpin, no moves really being made, as it seems like Lewis Curtis, he's lagged out again. As you can see how much Dylan Day wants to make this move. I'll just check, yeah, pretty much the same ERS as well. As of course when they cross over onto lap 8, that's when DRS is going to be activated. So they'll have it going into the hairpin of turn 3, as Lick gets a 3-second time penalty. Quite a few people actually getting 3-second time penalties at the moment. Axie is actually one who doesn't really get penalties. I haven't really noticed him getting all too many, to be honest, and when he does, he's usually the one getting only a 3-second while everyone else gets 6. So watch out for that, as of course he almost won a race last week because of time penalties, as Cameron Young gets his second 3-second penalty. As everyone pretty much just following in the slipstream, no one really making moves. There is actually a Red Bull in the background there trying to make a move on Ollie Flavel. That's Fergus Wilson, and actually he's spun around at the exit. It seems like he must have clipped the rear of Ollie Flavel, and Sondre Sorg also going around in the same place. Sondre Sorg, I'm not sure if he was going side by side with anyone, but I know for certain that that Fergus Wilson did clip Ollie's rear, and that's why he went around, or I think that he clipped his rear. It looked like he did. Anyway, as I'm not being given anything, of course. As who's that going slowly? That's Cameron Young going slowly. What has happened here then? He doesn't have any wing damage, and he's gonna crash into the pit lane as well. Kinda looked a little intentional to me, if I'm honest, but it looks like everyone's going to be continuing on. No safety car at the moment, it seems. As now Edward Hart trying to make a move on Axie here in the hairpin. Of course, he's got a better exit out of the hairpin as well, and up into second place. He's going to go with DRS to help him out as well. Of course, the Red Bull having no DRS, and now Dylan Day's trying to go around the outside of the Red Bull as well. The Red Bull might end up losing 2 positions here as around the outside Dylan Day goes. He's going to have the inside for turn 6, and it looks like he's going to be able to make that move as well, as up into P3 and down to P4, of course, for the Red Bull, who was running second place just a few moments ago. And of course behind him there's medium runners. Lewis Millam's on fairly fresh mediums as well, so I think the Red Bull's going to find himself going backwards a little bit more as Dylan Day makes his way into the pit lane. A little bit early of a stop, I would think, but regardless, everyone else in the softs seems to be continuing on, or at least if they started on the softs, it seems like they're continuing on. And you can see now Ollie Flavel next to get past Axie. Axie already has lost DRS to the car in front, and it's going to be down the inside for Ollie Flavel. There's actually going to be another move. The AlphaTauri looking at a move down the inside of the Red Bull, maybe. As of course on the exit of the hairpin, is surely going to have a better exit now, as opening up the DRS flap for both of them. Lewis Millam is going to be trying to close on Axie. I don't think he's going to be able to close enough, as actually under braking he certainly closes a lot. And actually on the exit as well, it looks like he's going to have a better exit here, as side by side they go. On the inside for turn 5, of course, a flat turn 5, and around the outside for the AlphaTauri. So much more grip though. He's going to be able to hang it right around the outside, and again on the outside for turn 6, and actually Axie's now going to get spun round. Not sure if he was left enough space or not, Obviously, Axie will be thinking he wasn't left enough space as they went through turn 7. Of course, Axie now is going to be going into the pit lane after getting spun round, and really his race is kind of ruined, as of course he was trying to look at the podium. Now really he's going to be looking at probably a 5th or 6th at this point. As Lickle, Ollie and Lewis Millam, of course, after all getting past Axie, are going to be able to continue now and fight away for the podium places. Because of course Matthew Walder does have 2.6, 2.7 actually, a gap on Edward Hart. As you can see him in the distance, but I think Matthew Walder's still pulling a... Oh, excuse me. I think he's still pulling a gap as Jared Fosbury seemingly getting past Dylan Day. Dylan Day, though, is going to be using ERS. It's going to be opening up the DRS flap as well, and I think it's going to be a fairly easy move now, as Jared Fosbury surely isn't going to be able to fight it, as he isn't going to. And Dylan Day's going to, after his pit stop, at least go up to P8. And who else is spun? Is that Lewis? That is Lewis Curtis. He has actually got back in again, and it seems like he's spun anyway at the exit of turn 4. And Dylan Day and Jared Fosbury both going through. And has he actually got damage as well? It seems like he was struggling a little bit to get the turn in. And someone else has spun now. Jared Fosbury is now down to last, as he spun out of turn 7 going through turn 8. As actually now could Ollie Flavel be making a move for 2nd place. He's going to be looking on the inside. He might decide to dive it. He's going to be sensible about it though. He's going to stick behind. You can see Lewis Millam in the background there ready to pick up the pieces as they go through turn 6. Doesn't look like really any overtaking opportunity is going to arise here unless someone really dives it and makes it work. But these three are going to continue as they were. And Matthew Walder still pulling a gap on these three, so really there's no reason for him to pit right now if he's still pulling away. And if these guys fight a bit, he might be able to add a few more laps onto how long he can stay out as well. As you can see now, once again in the DRS, Lickle under pressure from Ollie Flavel, going out of turn 1, of course, opening up the DRS for Ollie Flavel, approaching the hairpin. You would be expecting Ollie Flavel to be looking down the inside. He is going to look down the inside. Lickle isn't going to cover it off, and he's going to be able to go through. Still side by side though, but Ollie Flavel has the line. He's in front going into the corner, and of course on the inside line as well. It's always going to be his corner. And Ollie Flavel, of course, up into 2nd place now. Lickle down to 3rd, and will he be looking backwards or forwards? Of course, Lewis Millam does have fresher tyres than the two ahead of him. But of course now Lickle's going to be the one with DRS, so maybe he's just holding up a little bit. Lewis Millam is probably going to be wanting to get ahead of these guys and try and pull away with the 4-lap fresher mediums that he has. Nonetheless though, it's good entertainment to be watching this as Lickle now gets a 3-second time penalty as he's following, of course, behind Ollie Flavel. Don't think it's going to make a difference to him though. He's still going to be looking at a move, and of course you can see through turn 1 he closes up quite a lot under braking, and he's going to be in the slipstream. He's going to be opening up the DRS. Lewis Millam actually is right behind him as well, though he's looking down the inside. It could actually end up being 3 wide here, as Lewis Millam looking down the inside of Ollie Flavel now as well. He gets the front wing in there, but Ollie Flavel's going to hang it on the outside, and he's going to stay in front. Lewis Millam loses the back end a little bit. He's going side by side still with the McLaren of Lickle, of course, and he's going to have the inside line. Lickle's a little bit further ahead though. He's going to be able to hang it around the outside, still side by side, both of them giving enough space at least, as now they go through turn 6. Lewis Millam trying to hang it around the outside again, maybe for a switchback as well, but it's not going to come of anything, or nothing's going to come of it I should say. And Lewis Millam's going to have to remain in P4 for now, but for how much longer though, as he seems very feisty. He's looking for a move, of course, as he's still in the slipstream. As they go through the final corner, if you can get a better exit, maybe you could be looking to move even to turn 1. Of course, Lickle is going to be opening up the DRS, but you can see Lewis Millam closing, even going through turn 1. Lickle, even with the DRS, still not faster than the AlphaTauri behind him, as you can see, still closing. He's going to be looking to the inside. Lickle's going to squeeze him right up to the right hand side, and now side by side again. It's almost an identical situation to last lap, as as the AlphaTauri almost puts a front wing alongside Ollie Flavel. I can't speak at all. But again, they're going to be side by side going through turn 4. A little bit more even between the two, though, as Lewis Millen might be able to hang around the outside, as he's going to not actually have to, as through turn 6, looks like Little's just going to back out of it. And a virtual safety car, is that going to get upgraded? And also, who's it for, as no one else is retired? As actually, well, Matthew Waller, it seems, has made a pit stop. I didn't actually realise that. But he's down to 6th now. 18 seconds behind the lead. Should be able to get that back when everyone else makes their pit stops. Actually, is that? Yeah, it is. Sondre Sorog and Jared Fosbury are going to be lapped soon. Seems like they both put on fresh mediums. They're probably just going to take it to fight with each other as a drive-through for Dylan Day for speeding under the VSC, of course, as you can see there. So he'll have to serve that drive-through within the next few laps. As you can see up ahead, the two, of course, fighting for the final point. Certainly fighting away for it. Of course, it is only 1 point, but they're still going at it, as of course the 3 race leaders are going to be coming up on them soon. Probably within the next lap or two they'll be getting blue flags, or actually they're already getting blue flags. So surely they'll be making a move on them now. But you can see Lewis Millam again looking down the inside of turn 1, trying to see if there was any opportunity. But of course, nothing comes of it. And again, the DRS, Ollie Flavel's going to be using ERS again. Not going to be covering the inside line. And he's going to be allowed to go on the inside, Lewis Millam, and take the lead of this race. As now Jared Fosbury surely is going to have to get out of the way as they continue to get closer and closer. No DRS, it seems, for the AlphaTauri driver right now, but he's in the slipstream certainly, and he's going to be using a little bit of ERS as well to make sure they get out of the way. Nothing worse than a ghost car messing up your lines, but yeah. As you can see still, as Jared Foster makes a bit of a mistake, he's surely going to have to get out of the way. Now both of them get out of the way, so wasting no time there for Sondre or Jared Fosbury, as they're going to continue to fight away. And actually, are they going to be side by side instantly? No, they're not, as it looks like they were. Or looked like they were for a second. As now it seems Lewis Millam is pulling a little bit of a gap. Of course, 4 laps fresher mediums. The mediums of Ollie Flavel and Nickel would be kind of going off by now. As the fastest lap for Matthew Alder, 13 seconds behind the fight for the lead. So he's certainly going to be retaking the lead. As someone else crashed. Seems like just a spin for Lewis Curtis, unfortunately. As you can see here, not Jared Fosbury, that's Matthew Alder going past Lordy. For 5th place, and his next target now, Fergus Wilson in the Red Bull. As the front 3 still fighting away for what will end up being, well, 2nd and 3rd. So they're certainly fighting for podium places at the moment, as Ollie Flavel is going to be closing on Lewis Millam. He's going to be looking down the inside. Lewis isn't going to cover it, but he won't have to in the end, as he takes the corner fairly normally. Ollie Flavel clips the curb a little bit and gets a little bit worse of an exit, so it might put him under a little bit of pressure from Lickle now in the McLaren. It closes up as they go out of turn 4 and go through the flat turn 5. So again, no real overtakes going to be happening here, as it seems Sondre Sorg has just got past Jared Fosbury again. Doesn't really seem like they're staying side by side for very long. Unfortunate that this isn't going to end up being the fight for the lead, because Matthew is just that good, but for now it is the fight for the lead at least, just not the net lead. As again, Ollie Favre trying to close back up in DRS, of course, but it seems like Lewis Millam does have the pace advantage over him, and especially out of this corner, Ollie Favre not really getting it right. As of course this and last lap he had to correct his car going out of the hairpin. As is this Matthew Walder making a move, or... Oh, okay, that's just lapped cars. Oh, is this into the pits? Ollie Favre is going to be going into the pit lane now, and looking at the gaps, probably going to come out around Axie, maybe just in front, as of course that would be about a 20-second pit stop. So Ollie Favre now getting the soft tyres on, going to the end now as he leaves the garage. 3-second penalties for Lordy and Jared Fosbury there in succession. As you can see, the Mercedes getting out of the pit lane. The Red Bull, you can see in the background there, but yeah, he's going to be well ahead of him. And he's going to emerge in 6th place, 4 seconds between them. So now, this is a... why have my mind just goes blank sometimes. This is an undercut attempt on Lewis Millam. Of course, this is Ollie Favre making the undercut. Of course, softs for 1 lap versus his 16-lap-old mediums. As a retirement for Jared Fosbury now. As we'll see him on the left-hand side, probably, just in a second as we get a really wide shot. You can see his car just about in the wall in the distance there. And Lewis Curtis is also, well, he's retired in the pit lane though, so it's not anything major. But yellow flags, certainly, and it looks like it's going to be cleared up. As now Matthew Walder is going to take P2 in this race. Lewis Millam staying out still. The 2 AlphaTauris, of course, Lewis Millam is a reserve. He's not actually Matthew Walder's teammate. And now Ollie Favre looking at a move on the Alpine here, as down the inside for Ollie Favre, side by side going through the hairpin, still trying to hang around the outside Lordy, but in the end it's fresh softs versus old hards. Really no competition there in the end. As Ollie Favre now is going to be chasing after actually Matthew Walder now, but it's like an 8-second gap that he has to close, so seems a little bit of a tall order. As now it's Lewis Millam who's going to be going into the pit lane. Lickel had pit seemingly just last lap there as well. He came out of course behind Ollie Favre, so Ollie Favre's undercut really working well for him against the McLaren. But now the AlphaTauri is going to be coming out of the pit lane. You can see Ollie Favre on the outside there. He's going to be going round. Can Lickel get him as well? As actually they're going to be side by side, and now both of them have got ahead. As you can see, Lickel making a move on Lordy there for 3rd place, and Lewis Millam has lost what would have been a net P2 at this point. Ollie Favre, of course, making a very nice undercut because he's even broke the DRS of Lickel as well. So Lewis Millam and Lickel, if they fight, then it could allow Ollie Favre to get a little bit ahead of them. As you can see there, Lewis Millam just finishing up the overtake on Lordy. Lordy now dropping to 5th. He still seems to be going on. Probably going to be looking to go to the end, but not really sure how useful it's going to be. Is that a spin? No, it's not. Just a half spin maybe. As who else is that? Oh, that's Sondre again. Another spin from the bottle hog. As now Fergus Wilson making a move on Lordy, so Lordy now down to 6th. And I think he's going to be losing another position, but actually I should go and commentate on this now. Lewis Millam on the inside for what is P3 right now. Lickle dropping to 4th, and in the background there, actually Lordy getting back past Fergus Wilson into the hairpin, so very interesting there. Right at the back of him still though, Fergus Wilson looking for a move as he's right up the gearbox, almost touching the back of his car there. As he's going to look around the outside, he's going to have the softs as well. Surely it shouldn't be too difficult as he actually spins round. Did Axie maybe get any damage from that? He did look very close to touching with Lordy, as it doesn't seem like he has, as he's going to be able to go through, yeah, full wing there for Axie. So it seems like maybe Fergus Wilson turned in too early. Maybe Lordy should have backed out a little earlier, as Sondre now taking a trip to gravel at turn 6. As the fastest lap now for Lewis Millam, and 8 seconds separates Ollie Flavel from Matthew Alder. And if I just have a look at the penalties quickly, okay, well, Matthew Alder's winning this race. Never mind. And between the people fighting for 3rd place, it's looking like Lewis Millam's going to be able to take P2 as well. As of course Lickle and Ollie will be fighting for track position, or at least at the moment they'll be fighting for track position. Sondre Sorog into the pits again. It's now in the slipstream for Lewis Millam on the right hand side again. No one seems to be covering the inside line, which is far superior to the outside for the hairpin. As now Lewis Millam's going to be able to go through for what is a net P2, as of course no one else is going to be pitting, and again on penalties as well, 6 seconds compared to 12 for Ollie and Lickle. And with the softer tires he should be able to gap these guys, especially if they start fighting. As you can see, Lickle got a lot better of an exit going off turn 4, as he's right at the back of Ollie Flavel, maybe looking at a move probably into turn 3, the hairpin, as of course Ollie goes a little bit wide. Maybe the move's going to become a little bit earlier, as Lickle again is going to stay behind. He's not going to try and close and make a move into turn 9, which really would be not a great decision, you can say. It's opening up DRS, of course, for both of Ollie Flavel and Lickle, who are running 3rd and 4th, fighting for the final podium place. And going out of turn 1 now, opening up DRS once again, using the ERS. You can see Lickle certainly wants his place off of Ollie Flavel, and he's going to be closing all the way down to the hairpin, but it doesn't look like it's going to be close enough. It's right at the back of him though, and a bit of a better line, bit of a better exit for Lickle, and now they're going to be fighting away for 3rd place. As side by side they go. Lickle's going to be on the outside, Ollie Flavel's going to be on the inside. It looks a little bit ahead for Lickle as they both close up to Lewis Millam as well. Right on the outside for Lickle, and a nice move as well, as of course almost equal on the softs are actually Ollie Flavel having 1 lap, so yeah, pretty much equal you can say in terms of pace, and Lickle's going to go right around the outside and claim P3. And now he's going to try and chase after Lewis Millam, who still hasn't gapped him, of course. But with no DRS or slipstream to benefit off from in front of him, it's going to be quite difficult to pull away. As these three pretty much been fighting almost all race between themselves. As now, I think it's going to be a repeat of last lap, of course. Now it's Lickle on Lewis Millam. He's going to be looking down the inside. He's not going to go for it yet. And again, a nice exit from the McLaren. But it looks like he had to back out a little bit as he got a little bit too close to the AlphaTauri's gearbox there. but almost making a move pretty much identical to what he did on Ollie Favre last lap. He set it up the same way, just unfortunately didn't work out for him this time. But still has quite a few laps to go. They haven't, by the way, been able to close on Matthew Walder. 12-lap-old mediums for compared to 4-lap-old softs. And the gap remains about 8 seconds. So Matthew Walder really just levels above the rest of the grid. It's now out of turn 1 again. Doesn't look like Ollie Favre's too close to the back of Lickle. Lickle's going to be looking to make a move here as he's going to be close. He's going to stick behind. He's going to be looking at a better exit again. As you can see here, the AlphaTauri doesn't have the best, and he's going to open up the DRS. He's going to be in the slipstream as well. Not close enough on this occasion either. Certainly could have went down the inside of the hairpin, but decided better of it. You could see him lift off as well intentionally. He did not want to make that move in the hairpin on that occasion. And a little bit of a lift for Lickle, you could see, just avoiding a warning, as of course Lewis Millen went a little bit wide, so he probably did get a warning on that occasion. And the only ones without penalties, funnily enough, is both of the Red Bulls at the Red Bull Ring as well. So maybe a bit of luck for them, given it's the Red Bull's home track. It's now once again out of turn 1, once again opening up the DRS and using a little bit of DRS as well. He's going to be looking down the inside. Maybe he's again not going to go down the inside of the hairpin. He's going to get a better exit. This time he's a little bit closer. This time actually has been a spin from Lewis Millen, so he's not going to be getting second anymore. Now it's between Ollie and Lickle for second place. Ollie Favre's going to go through fairly easily, as of course yellow flags there momentarily, at least in sector 2. And of course Ollie Favre now in a net P2, and penalties aren't going to affect either of these two guys between themselves. But it is actually going to promote Fergus Wilson, interestingly. Fergus Wilson, I didn't actually consider it, but he's well within 12 seconds of second and third, so he's going to get promoted up into second himself. As who is that round now? Is that Lordy? No, it's Sandre again. Another spin for Sandre. But fair play to him to keep going though, as Lickle now on the inside of Ollie Favre. This is for second place. Both of them have 12 seconds apiece. Ollie Favre is actually going to let him through. Try and get a better exit. On once again now, no DRS of course for Lickle, but he's got such a better exit out of the hairpin there. And he's going to be able to remain in P2. Ollie Favre couldn't really get anywhere close. It did look like he was setting up a switchback, but nothing to come of it. And now Ollie Favre back down to third. But of course still 4 laps or 5 laps I think remaining for these two to fight it out. And Fergus Wilson also closing on them with no penalties. Sandri gets another 3-second pen. How close is he to... Oh my god. Sandri might get disqualified if he keeps this up. I'm fairly sure it's 30 seconds and then you're disqualified. And there's only 4 laps to go as well. Well, from the end of this lap at least. As Dylan Day gets another 3-second pen. The two Red Bulls continue to race around the Red Bull Ring with no penalties between them. as is going. I can't speak. I can't speak. Ollie Favell, of course, still trying to make a move on Lickle. Had a little look in the hairpin, wasn't close enough. But again now, of course, Lickle with no DRS from Lewis Millam, as of course he was benefiting from that before. Can't benefit from it anymore. Ollie Favell still trying to keep within the slipstream, still trying to make this move, as of course they still only have 12 seconds between them. This is for third place because Fergus Wilson is going to be closing on them all the time. Of course, he's in fourth. He might actually end up catching them before the end if they keep fighting like this. Another 3-second pen for Matthew Older, but he's so far in front it won't really matter by the end of it. That's now 9.2, so between these two fighting as well, Matthew Older's actually gotten away from them on his old mediums. Ollie Favell now on the exit, looks quite close now. He's going to be using the ERS, he's going to be looking to the inside. Lickle's going to defend the outside for the turn 2, and of course the inside for turn 3 for Ollie Favell, and he's going to be able to claim P2, but a switchback move for Lickle though, and he's going to be on the inside for turn 4, side by side between the two. Lickle is a little bit ahead as well, and he's going to pull ahead right before the corner and reclaim his P2, so good racecraft from Lickle, not fighting into the hairpin and getting it back for turn 4. As you can see in the distance there, that is a Red Bull of Fergus Wilson, closing ever more on these two, as of course 2 laps of racing remaining. As Ollie Favell a little bit bad of an exit, and it's gonna maybe allow Fergus Wilson to get within the DRS, as he's quite close to being there. He's almost there at least. As you can see him getting closer and closer and closer. Ollie Favell still is going to have DRS on Lickle. He's going to be closing on Lickle. He's going to be using ERS. He's going to be looking on the inside of the hairpin once again. Are we going to see a repeat of what happened last lap? As Ollie Favell is going to really demand that he gets P2 for the hairpin, and the exit is his, of course, and he's going to be in the slipstream now. Lickle with DRS trying to get this move back, but it's not going to be enough, as the Mercedes now is going to pull ahead. But really, there's 2 more overtaking opportunities on this track for these two, and that's going to be on the last lap. So it's really going to take the last lap for us to see who's going to get P3, as of course P2 is going to go to Fergus Wilson. He doesn't even need to pass them at this point. As long as he doesn't spin, he will overtake them on pens. But these two, of course, still only 12 seconds between them. Well, I say only. Not really only, it's still 12 seconds, quite a bit, but now out of turn 1 for the final time for these two. He's going to open up his DRS. He's going to be using any bit of ERS that he has left. It doesn't look like he's closing all too much though. As into the hairpin now, he's going to need a very good exit if he wants this P2. Ollie Favell keeps it fairly clean on the exit. He's going to open up DRS again. He's Lickle using his ERS once again, using his DRS once again, as a little bit of derating from Ollie Favell, but it was only at the end of the straight, as you can just check. Yeah, both of them pretty much no ERS left. As a Red Bull now, yeah, he doesn't have ERS really either. So I don't think he's really going to be able to make a move, as of course there isn't any realistic chances. But Matthew Older is going to be coming through the final few corners, and through the final corner now, he sees the checkered flag. He goes up onto the right hand side to take the victory in the Red Bull Ring at Austria. And he's done everything right. Of course, even on the mediums, no one could catch him. And he takes the win. Ollie Favell is going to take P4. He actually, wait, how did... I thought Ollie Favell was ahead. Did they get another pen? I can't actually see. I guess I'll see later. But, oh, and actually, Axie got on the podium as well. Right at the end. It seems like he got within 12 seconds of them. So, Lickle and Ollie finished on track 2nd and 3rd, but get demoted to 4th and 5th. Lewis Millam's going to have to settle for a P6 in the end. Dylan Day a 7th, and then Lordy's going to be the last one to cross the line in 8th. as Fergus Wilson gets driver of the day. To be fair, don't really see any reason to disagree, as of course he didn't get any pens. He also caught them at the end, and yeah, he took the P2. But it is once again Matthew Walder lifting the trophy, the top step off the podium. Fergus Wilson is going to finish P2, and Axie once again getting a podium. But still, for Axie, maybe it could have been more. I'm fairly sure he was spun, if I can remember, early on. But yeah, there we have it then. Of course, Matthew Walder's taking the win, and then the two without penalties getting promoted into the podium places of Fergus Wilson and Axie. Lickle and Ollie both dropped to 4th and 5th respectively. Lewis Millam, of course, after the spin, finishing 6th, but maybe that could be looked at because I'm fairly sure that was an incident between either Ollie or Lickle. I can't really remember. Lordy in 7th, Dylan Dane 8th, and then Sandra Sorg sticking it, sticking with it and finishing 9th. Lewis Curtis in 10th, but he DNF'd though, so he's not going to get any points. Jared Fosbury, Cameron Young, Santeri, and Lewis Marshall all DNFing earlier in the race as well. So only the top 9 getting points today. So yeah, I'll just get the guys in for podium interviews if it lets me. Eventually found him. Well, I guess we'll start with you then, Axie, while we
Yeah,
wait for the other two. So, in the end then, you got a podium place. You got a podium last week, but I think this podium probably feels a little better as you could have won last week if things were a little bit different. But yeah, this race, you know, you got no penalties. You put your car in the in where it needed to be, and a P3 and double podium for you and your teammate as well. So it must be a good feeling today.
yeah. Last week I lost the victory because of a touch. So, and today I didn't practice at all. So I just try to don't take any penalties, etc. So just finish the race, and I just did a little mistake in the middle of the race uh, when I touch the rear of somebody. I lost easily 6 seconds at least, and after yeah, no penalties was the key, and I finished P3.
Yeah, and of course, I can't really remember. Was there maybe a second spin then that you had? Because I know, I think you were fighting. It must have been like turn 7, the left-hander, like the second of the two left-handers in the middle sector.
Yeah, I
That
touched
you
the
spun
rear
around.
of
I'm not. Yeah.
yeah, I spun, but I didn't touch the wall, so I just boxed after because the tire was the.
Okay. Well, um, then I guess going on to next week, which is Spain. So of course you've had yourself a few podium places. You've had yourself a win as well in France. So do you think maybe you could put yourself back on the top step next week in Spain, or do you think you'll just continue with the podiums?
Mm, I hope a win, but I think a podium places is more realistic. It's Spain. I'm not really strong there, so we will see.
Okay, well congratulations on your P3 and good luck for next week.
Thanks.
And then it's going to be Fergus Wilson, then the other Red Bull driver in second. Of course, today I didn't really see you to have too many fights today. It's just kind of in the end you were catching, of course, Ollie and Lickle, and then in the end, of course, penalties put yourself on P2. So is there anything interesting that happened that maybe I didn't catch, or was it fairly quiet for you today? Yeah, and in the end, of course, you took it on penalties. Was there any part of you that wanted to take it on track? Did you think maybe if you caught them early enough that you would have gone for a move, or was your plan to just stick behind and let them fight it out and you'll take it in the end? And then Spain, of course, next week, as I said. Do you think you can maybe get another podium next week? Top 5? What are you thinking? Alright, then congratulations on your P2 and good luck for next week. And then finishing with Matthew then. Matthew, you didn't really have much happening in your race. You kind of spent most of it pulling away, and in the end, even when people behind you were on softs, you were still pulling away and actually pulled a second on them rather than them closing on you. So, I guess anything to comment with your race, or was it just quiet as I saw it.
Well, the start was good. I had a 4/10 gap, half turn 1 on Cameron. Then I think there was a safety car, and I actually wanted to pit under that safety car for hards, but I was already like past the pit line, so I could have gone in, but I didn't want to risk getting a 5-second penalty, which I would have won with anyway. But I obviously didn't want to have that problem at the time. Then got a good restart, broke the DRS to Cameron, who then spun, and then he gave up. He had like 9 seconds penalties already. I peered onto mediums, and I just drove around by myself really. I think there was a VSC or 2 on my medium stint. Yeah, I tried to go faster lap twice. I couldn't beat the lap I initially set when I got Lordy's DRS. So.
Alright then. Obviously next week Spain, as I said. You expecting another win?
I don't like Spain, but I did play on it a lot at the start of the game. So I think I will be. I haven't done it in a while though.
Alright, well congratulations on your win and good luck for next week then.
Thank you.
And that of course will round out the stream. So that has been IRL F1 here in Austria. And of course next week I really hope I won't have to do comms again, because I do want to get back racing. Tim of course couldn't do it today, so I filled in for him. Tim should be back next week. So yeah, should be seeing Tim on comms next week. Be sure to join him. And hopefully we get some action in Spain like we saw here today. So that has been it, and goodbye.